Okay, people, I'm in Uncle John's chair. Today is September 25th, 2015. I just got off the phone with my landlords, and they're telling me to move. Like, the city is getting me evicted. Like, seriously. And if it's not the city, it's Fraser Health. I'm in Uncle John's chair here, people. Okay? Because what happened was, they're asking me to give back the money that they gave me a reduction on the rent for the first 3 months after John was gone. Because they said they were going to help me out because I had no money, people. Like, I got, like, stuck with everything. Everything. So they took off $350 a month for 3 months off the rent, so that I could try and figure this out, which I haven't yet. Like, I'm getting in the car, going to the thrift store, buying a few things in the thrift store, boots for Andre, pair of pants, a jacket, you know, a little toy, some jars, a couple books, right? A little playboard for him. You know, that type of stuff, right? And then I get back in my car and I'm driving down the road and I'm starting to cry, having a panic attack for spending $90 in a thrift store. That's how bad it is right now. But, you know, I have my grandson. I need some boots, new boots. He can't keep running around with rubber gum boots. And he doesn't like to wear his running shoes, right? Not that I can afford to go to the mall and buy a pair of running shoes. So anyway, back to this. Because what happened was last year, the landlords, they had to fix that stupid broken pipe. Whenever that happened. That was like a $5,000 bill. But that's not my fault. I'm not the one that broke the pipe outside in the front. And then they did the roof. But again, that's not my fault. Right? And then they have their taxes and, you know, water and just taxes and like property taxes in general. And they're saying that $1,600 for this house is not enough money, right? They want $1,750, $1,850 just to be able to cover the mortgage and the taxes. Even though when I moved in it was $1,550, stay as long as you want and don't worry. But then they had to do the pipe, and after the pipe they wanted another $100. At the time I said okay, because John was here. So we were paying $1,650 instead of $1,550. And then John left, stuck with all the bills, everything, high rent, right? A bunch of depressed, crazy kids that are totally like been punched out, right, by professional people. You know, everybody diving into depression, right? Want to become suicidal again because they're missing Uncle John. And now, it's what now? They're asking me for that money back. They're saying that I said I was going to give it back to them. How the hell am I supposed to give it back to them if I can't even meet the bills today? I said, no, that's not what you said. You said you were just going to cut me some slack for those 3 months because of all the yard work that I've been doing for the last 6 years. And I gave them a receipt for their little taxes, but they don't get very much money off their tax, you know, for this property because I did yard work. And they don't even see the yard work. They don't want to see. And if they do want to see, they don't want to see it because the city doesn't see it. The city is harassing them. So the best way to solve the problem is to kick us out. I have no money to move, people. I have nowhere to go. So the city is getting me evicted. Basically, after they stole my chicken. Because my landlords can't deal with the stress with this house. They own 4 houses, but this is the problem house. This is the one that requires the most money because they have to fix things in it, like the yard on the front with the main pipe and the roof and the bathroom and that kind of stuff. Large ticket items, the roof, the main pipe in the front. You know, electrical problems that haven't been dealt with yet. Washing machine, can't use it. Can't use a dryer downstairs. And there's no washing machine. There is no dryer. Because they're waiting for that $10,000, $20,000 fine from the city. Right? Because I tried to cover up a bunch of weeds, rocks, and gravel, and sand. Everybody's yard is nice, flat grass. That's what they want. Flat grass. Just a bunch of flat fucking grass. When you drive by, all you see is flat grass. Nothing in the yard. Maybe a tree. Couple rocks with a little flower bed in it. That's it. Anything else? No. It's not acceptable. Right? So now I have to come up with more money. Like, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown, people. Like, honest to fucking God. Like, this is ridiculous. I go to the eye doctor yesterday. She tells me my pressure is over 50. She doesn't understand why such high pressure, the glaucoma, hasn't destroyed the part that makes me see yet. She just knows that under normal circumstances, a person like me should be in emergency getting an operation right now. And it's been like that for months and years. The only thing is the pressure is getting higher from 40 to 50 now, right? So I gotta pack up going fucking blind here, people. Well, I'm gonna start packing up my shit with nowhere to fucking go. After I invested 6 years into this house. So some fucking skanky ass fucking city council and a mayor can try and shut me up about how they treat poor people out here. Basically. And exploit the landlords. Right? To speed up the process in terms of property taxes and harassing the tenants and the landlord. Because none of this was mentioned until the city decided to bulldoze over everything. And with threats of $10,000 and $20,000 fines while they bulldoze out everything. Right? Just my yard. Mm-hmm. Not the guys across the street there with the big ass fence so that you can't see anything in it. Not those people with a bunch of stuff in their yard with little flower pots like I got going in my yard. Just in my yard. I can take you down over here and I can show you 2 places that have something similar to what I've got, but they're not being harassed. I am. I can't move. Like, literally, I have nowhere to go. Like, no, where am I going to go? How am I going to pack up? With what? I'm not even making the rent, people. I go off and buy $100, $150 worth of groceries. Like, groceries. Fresh produce, that kind of stuff. Right? Peanut butter, you know? Some bread sometimes, because I don't have time to make bread yet. Milk. Have to buy eggs now. Right? Don't have eggs in the house anymore. Thank you very much, City of Surrey. With my landlord asking me to give him back that little bit of money that they took off the rent for the 3 months, making me think that that would compensate for all the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours that I put out in this yard. So it just wasn't a vacant lot with a house on it with a bunch of rocks, weeds, and grit. And grass with a bunch of weeds, dandelions, and clover, and what is that other one called? Anyway, you know how that weed goes through there, right? Through the grass and just overtakes the grass and moss and everything. Just because you drive by and it looks like grass, go walk on it and see. It probably isn't. It's probably half weeds. And the only part that had any kind of little bit of grass was that one corner in the front over there. Other than that, that was infested with weeds. The whole backyard was nothing but weeds. And this side of the house was nothing but sand and weeds. And that's what the city wants. Or at least that's what they're making my landlords think they want. To frighten my landlords to say, we can't take it anymore because we're sick ourselves because we're old and we can't fucking deal with it. So get the hell out so we can sell the house and just forget about it. Or maybe they'll move somebody else in and they're just lying to me. Right? Somebody that can build things, because I've had a landlord like that before. They had us move in, John and I, with my 2 kids, 3 kids. I had 3 kids at the time. You know, property realtors, bought a house, had us move in. We rented the whole house up and down, but you know what? It took me a year to gut the basement, and by the time I finally finished gutting the basement after paying full rent in this 2-story house, they kicked us fucking out because they wanted to move in college students to go downstairs and start building. But they needed somebody to gut it and clean out the freaking mold first. And pull out all the rotten carpet and all that. And that's what I did because I thought we were going to live in that house. Little did I know that as soon as the basement was gutted, it was a big fucking scene. This, that, and that, and just kind of like what's going on now. Now that the freaking yard is pretty much almost done, even though the city wants to sit up there and act like nothing's happened in the last 6 years. Right? Because they don't like me talking about how poor people are being targeted in this city. It has to be that. What else is it? What else? How the cops are running around chasing all the poor people, stealing their shit with the city? How is this any fucking different? Just take without due process. Turn your landlord against you. Raise the property taxes so that the landlord has to raise the rent. Make it so that the only people that can afford houses these days are the ones that can drop down $1 million or 500,000. That's it. Those are the kind of people that can afford to buy houses these days, right? The rest of us, we're just nothing. We're nothing. We're treated like nothing. I'm sick, people. Do you know how many times I go to the eye doctor and they always tell me I'm supposed to be in emergency? Every time I go to an eye doctor appointment, they tell me I'm supposed to be in emergency because of the pressure in my eyes. But for some reason, I can still see. So we're still trying to bring down the pressure. With that crappy fucking dollar store glasses that just make my eyes all buggy while I'm out in the sun working in the yard with them, right? That's what I said to my eye specialist yesterday. I said, I work in the yard in the sun for hours with dollar store glasses on. And these people don't give a fucking crap. They think it's a freaking joke. I don't know what to say.